Good morning and welcome to Sunrise with Dr. Surajit Khanna, a news bite for the young. Anybody from ages 10 to 25, brought to you by KhannaForKids.com, KHANNA for kids.com. Join us on our main social media platform, which is Facebook, which is facebook.com/Khanna, the number 4 kids, Khanna number 4 kids. And we are live not only on that platform, but we are live on YouTube, we are live on Twitter, and 3 different Facebook accounts. So please join us Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, a little bit after 9 o'clock, between 9 and 9:30 for a news bite, just a little taste of what is in the news and how it affects young people today. And today we're going to talk about something that is broadcasting all over the news, which is something to do with censorship. And Dr. Khanna is going to kind of break it down for us. So Dr. Khanna, he is an attorney. He is a servant of the underserved. He is the champion of the nonprofit Voice of the Kids. And he is a child safety advocate. So we try to gear everything we're doing towards children, and today between ages 10 to 25. So Dr. Khanna, we're going to talk about social media platforms and censorship. Thank you.
Good morning, Gary. Good morning, kids, children, youths, teens, everyone, those who are listening today, this morning about the News Bite. There's a purpose of sharing News Bite in the morning so that you will take a little bite of it from this message and then think about it, research on it, that how this can impact you and the society. So today's topic is kind of very sensitive because we all are depending upon the social media platforms. Gary just announced that we are in 6 social media lives right now. So definitely social media platform is an important platform for us to communicate between each other, especially during this pandemic time where we cannot fly, we cannot go and visit somebody, but still we can see each other through this social media platform. But we have to be careful. That's the whole purpose of this morning's bite, is that all over the place, all over the social media, we are listening to a story that happened about a laptop recovered from a computer repair shop, a son of a prominent figure. I'm not going to disclose any name, so you guys can figure out a son of a prominent figure who had his laptop recovered from a computer repair shop. We are not talking about what was the claim and what was the content in that. All I'm trying to bring up here is the cause of that. What we are going to speak about is the major social media platform prevented this story from being seen. And why? Why sometimes we don't see that the social media platforms are not revealing the things which they're supposed to? Well, because social media platforms do not consider themselves as a TV, as a press. That's the issue. So they're also confused because the way the social media platform grew over last less than a decade. So definitely the team, the owners of the social media platform, they don't know which direction to go. So what I'm trying to educate you all today, that the First Amendment of the Constitution, which says freedom of speech. Do you know this First Amendment has 5 elements that is outlined? 5 elements. Remember this. So if we remember these 5 elements, then we can know that what the social media platform should do, because we are part of the social media platform. Let's not blame the owner of the social media platform. Actually, we as a group, we do own it because we are the one who puts the substance in the social media. That's why we have to take the responsibility and we have to be accountable for that too. But before we do that, we need to understand what this First Amendment Constitution talks about. Just freedom of speech is not what First Amendment talks about. It outlines 5 types of freedoms. Remember this, 5 types of freedom. Number 1, it prevents the government from making laws which regulate an establishment of religion. Number 2, guarantees the free exercise of religion. Number 3, freedom of speech. Number 4, freedom of press. Number 5, freedom of assembly, or the right to petition the government of redress for grievance, which is simply the right to petition the government to solve a problem. So do you see this? That there's a freedom of press, freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, and freedom of exercising whatever you believe on the religion case. So these are the things which are preventing the social media companies to be in TV. They discriminate, or they keep a distance between a TV and social media platform. Because in 1996, there's a Communication Decency Act, that is Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act, which says that no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. Well, in 1996, when this particular act was written, at that time, we all remember, I'm sure Gary remembers this too, that social media, even like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, they did not exist the way it is existing right now. That was, nobody thought how social media is going to take over. Even it took over CNN, it took over Fox News, it took over every single television channel, radio channel, okay? So nobody thought when this act was written. That's why when it is written that interactive computer service shall be treated as, should not be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information, because at the time that publishing or the speaking or the interactive services was mainly an exchange of communication between two parties. It was not what we are seeing today. It is not about exchanging a message. It is not about educating people the way we are doing, because television, radio were created to educate the local people. That's exactly what social media is doing right now. So definitely, I'm sure that Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social media platforms, they started looking into this right now, and they're working with their attorneys and the governments to adjust this so that it can be more controlled. That's exactly what the social media companies should be looking into, so that every citizens of United States can be protected. And kids, please do not exchange anything that is not appropriate in the social media. If you have to express your anger or frustration on somebody, do not express it through the social media. Please consider this as a television, as a press, because this is exactly what we are using the social media today. Look at the campaign happening. Look at the confirmation of the Supreme Court is happening. Everything is in social media today. So why this social media will be treated different than CNN and Fox News? So definitely the owners and the legal team of the social media platforms are working on it. We don't know exactly to what extent, but I'm sure, because they also want their subscribers or their audience to be safe. And that's all I would like to say. So please remember about this First Amendment how these First Amendments are outlining all the 5 freedoms. So research on it and see if we all as a globe can help the social media platforms so that this can be utilized for proper use. Thank you very much, kids. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a great weekend. Look forward for the upcoming week. Thank you. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Dr. Khanna. I think was very educational. I mean, most people, when you say, hey, what's the First Amendment? They say freedom of speech. They don't realize there's really 5 freedoms locked in there. And the issue today, really, what you brought to the head is, you know, social media platforms are not considered content providers like TV shows. They are considered content providers. But the issue that you brought up is once they block certain content, then they kind of become content providers, and that's where Section 230 of the Communication Act should be applied. So thank you, Dr. Khanna. Please join us Monday. We'll be here. We're here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 9 and 9:30. And we have a little news bite today for the young kids. Dr. Khanna wants to hear from you, and we have an easy way to get in contact with him. ContactK.com. ContactK.com. We want to hear from kids. So if you're between 10 and 25, we want to hear from you. Would you like to join us on this segment? We'd love to see your face. So if you're between 10 and 18, we're going to have to get your approval from your parents. And if you're 18 to 25, please join us. ContactK.com. Fill out the form. We'll get back to you. Dr. Khanna, thank you so much. That was very educational. We'll see everybody Monday.
Thank you very much, Gary.